Alright, good afternoon everybody. We are here with break 407. This is a NRL Traders Priority Combo break featuring the 22 Traders Priority Box, the 23 Titanium Priority Box, and the 24 Titanium Priority Box. Sorry, I was looking at the pictures and looked at the wrong pictures as I was saying it. Our team list for today, which we only did this morning, one trade: Broncos, Cameron Kite; Raiders, Peter Lowe; Bulldogs, Rod Staples; Sharks, Craig Hyde; Titans, Lee Marschall; Manly, Michael Slattery; Storm, Lee Marschall; Knights, Michael Slattery; Cowboys, Chris Kennedy; Eels, Dean Ryan; Panthers, Jacob Tupou; Rabbitohs, Peter Lowe; Dragons, Peter Lowe; Roosters, Bryce Stone; Warriors, Peter Lowe; and Tigers, Peter Lowe. Alright, here we are. We have our 22 sitting on top, so let's get stuck into that straight away. High performance, I read Marnie for the Eels. Ewan Aiken, parallel for the Warriors. That's what I haven't done. There's our chat, there's our team list. Parallel, Joseph Sawali. G'day Lee, welcome mate. Team high performance for the Bulldogs, number 4. Rod Staples with the Bulldogs. If you're watching the video, Rod, I was trying to tag you in the post and it let me tag you, but then it told me you're not in the group and never been a part of the group. I'm sure you were. Nathan Cleary, parallel for Panthers. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Rising Stars, Bailey Biondi Otto for the Bulldogs. Tessie New, parallel for the Broncos. Rising Stars, Tyrell Sloan for the Dragons. Payne Huss, parallel for the Broncos. Season to remember, Tommy Turbo for Manly. Blake Brayley, parallel for the Sharks. Rising Stars, Ben Trbojevic for Manly. Luke Brooks, parallel for Tigers. High performance, Lachlan Croker for Manly. Renato Multalo, parallel for Sharks. Rising Stars, Egan Butcher for the Roosters. Alexander Brimson, parallel for Titans. Master and Apprentice, Herbie Farmworth for the Broncos. Keon Colomatengi, parallel for the Rabbitohs. Blake Laurie, parallel for the Dragons. I haven't heard it pronounced yet, and I've read it and have no idea how to pronounce it. But did everyone see the posts regarding the team list with the longest first name ever in the NRL Rugby League? Lachlan Ilias, Rising Stars for the Rabbitohs. I don't even know what team it was, to be honest. Bulldogs, parallel checklist. And that'll be interesting to try and get my tongue around. Season to remember, Jaden Ockenbaugh for the Bulldogs. Chance Nicole Clockstad, parallel for the Raiders. Master and Apprentice in the priority, number 23 of 23. Jaden Sullivan for the Dragons. Peter Lowe. G'day, Al. Welcome, mate. Parallel, Dallin Watine Zalesniak. Season to remember, Thomas Burgess for the Rabbitohs. Scott Drinkwater, parallel for the Cowboys. It's crazy. So Tilly Tupou for the Roosters. Hopefully I'll get to hear it a few times in some games before I have to try and pronounce it. Rising Stars, Avalami Avile for the Warriors. Corey Allen, parallel for the Bulldogs. It's good to have you, mate. Rising Stars, Dejan Assey for the Cowboys. To be honest, this is one of our later ones. Normally it's a 10 a.m. start, so most people are at work or starting the day. Dylan Brown, parallel for the Eels. Kobe Hetherington, Club Heroes for Broncos. Joseph Tarpanay, parallel for the Raiders. High Performance, Mitch Rain for the Titans. Felice Kafusi, parallel for Storm. Or should be working. Rising Stars, Matt Croker for the Knights. Bradman Best, parallel for the Knights. It's good, this is the most active the chat's been. I think in any of the breaks we've done this year. Power Heroes, Val Holmes for the Cowboys. Kieran Foran, parallel for Manly. Rising Stars, Kobe Hetherington for Broncos. I call it multitasking. Eliza Katoa for the Warriors. That's not in the toilet again, is it, John? Aaron Clark, parallel for the for Titans. Rising Stars, Matthew Tomoko for the Raiders. Rabbitohs, parallel checklist. Season to remember, Joseph Suwali for the Roosters. Sam Walker, parallel for Roosters. Season to remember, Mitchell Pearce for the Knights. Far too hot to do anything else besides watching YouTube. Josh Jackson, parallel for Bulldogs. Rising Stars, Rumi Greig for the Eels. Ryan Sutton, parallel for Raiders. Stephen Crichton, parallel for Panthers. And retirement, Blake Green for the Knights. Eels, parallel checklist. High performance, Blake Brayley for the Sharks. Tarek Sims, parallel for the Dragons. Master and Apprentice, Josh Jackson for the Bulldogs. Tommy Dearden, parallel for the Cowboys. No, I even asked the question just before I went live to make sure that I hadn't found out anything. But no update. So Daniel Sofiti, para heroes for Knights. Tommy Talau, parallel for Tigers. I was expecting the stick. Well, I think a lot of people are expecting the stickers to be basically released any day now. But as far as we don't have any shipping notifications, any checklists, any sales sheets, nothing. Rising Stars, Isaac Tago for Panthers. Mitchell Barnett, parallel for Knights. Not that I'm sure there'll be a checklist for the stickers or how that will work. We'll all find out together, I'm sure. Season to remember, Alexander Brimson for the Titans. Nelson Asafa Solomona, a parallel for Storm. I did see a post randomly not long ago when I was opening Facebook on my computer about a boy or a dad took a picture of his boy holding one of the sticker albums for soccer over there. And that seemed to look very similar to what was floating around. Hamali Olika R2 from Manly. Alright, let's go 2023. Alright, forwards and backs. Nick Kotrick for the Raiders. Brian Kelly, parallel for Titans. Women's NRL, Emma Tony Gatto for the Dragons. Will Penasini, parallel for the Eels. Rising Stars, Ben Thomas for the Roosters. Nick Meaney, parallel for Storm. Season to remember. Andrew McCulloch for the Dragons. Dale Finucane, parallel for Sharks. Driving Force, Hannah Southwell for the Knights. Did you hear she's quit the Sharks? Who? I missed what are we talking about? Sam Walker, parallel for Roosters. Rising Stars, Whenua Pole for the Tigers. Tavita Penga Jr., parallel for Bulldogs. No, I didn't hear because I don't even know who we're talking about. Zara Canfield, women's. Yep, rightio. No, I didn't know. Jack Bellin, parallel for the Dragons. Feel like that'll be a blow, that'll be a loss. All the best to her though. The Dolphins, number 15. Now remember, they're not redeemable, and all Dolphins cards get randomised as one lot at the end. Bradman Best, parallel for the Knights. Rising Stars, Jamin Salmon for Panthers. Corey Horsburgh, parallel for Raiders. Alec McDonald, Rising Stars for Storm. Taylor May, parallel for Panthers. Driving Force, James Tedesco for the Roosters. Reece Robson, parallel for the Cowboys. Number 3, forwards and backs. Priority, Mitchell Moses for the Eels. Here we got Dean Ryan. Oh, happy. Nice hit. And I'll look at R2 parallel for Manly. Season to remember, James Tamo for the Tigers. Chris Randall parallel for the Knights. If you haven't already seen it, guys, tipping comp is up for 2026. Go and join. Premiership Predictor number 75 for the Warriors. Raiders, Matthew Tomoko. Rising Stars, Kale Iro for the Sharks. Thomas Burgess, parallel for the Rabbitohs. Season to remember, Dominic Young for the Knights. Nick Kotrick, parallel for the Raiders. Gold parallel, number 59. Panthers checklist. Jake Tupou. Rabbitohs parallel checklist. Vanessa Foliaki, Women's NRL for the Eels. Bunty Afoa, parallel for the Warriors. Power Heroes, Damien Cook for the Rabbitohs. Patrick Carrigan, parallel for the Broncos. Driving force for the Warriors, Josh Curran. Saitili Tupanua, parallel for the Roosters. Priority in the driving force team, number 24, Manly, Michael Slattery. Bulldogs, Raymond Faitala Mariner, parallel. Rising Stars, Isaac Thompson for the Rabbitohs. Jack Bird, parallel for the Dragons. Forwards and backs, Blake Brayley for the Sharks. Dylan Brown, parallel for Eels. Women's NRL, Destiny Brill for the Roosters. Storm, parallel checklist. Rising Stars, Ronald Volkman for the Warriors. Renato Militalo, parallel for the Sharks. Driving Force, Keely Davis for the Dragons. Ruben Garrick, parallel for Manly. Number 14, Club Heroes, Kai Rodwell for the Eels. Stefano Utokumanu, parallel for Tigers. Rising Stars, Ezra Mam for Broncos. Alexander Brimson, parallel for Titans. Rising Stars, Jacob Arthur for the Eels. Stafford Toa, parallel for Tigers. Zach Wolford, Rising Stars for Raiders. Edward Cossey, parallel for the Warriors. Our Heroes, Chad Townsend for the Cowboys. Payne Haas, parallel for the Broncos. Ali Brigginshaw, Women's NRL for Broncos. And Nathan Cleary, parallel for Panthers. Rising Stars, Cleese Huss for Titans. Chad Townsend, parallel for the Cowboys. Addo Carr, parallel for the Bulldogs. 2 packets left for the box. Women's NRL, Caitlin Robinson for Knights. Cody Ramsey, parallel for the Dragons. Rising Stars, Christian Mapalangi for the Knights. Dominic Young, parallel for the Knights. Alright, that's the end of that. 1 box to go, 24 priority. Let's get it done. Rising Stars, Andy Robinson for the Sharks. Tigers, parallel checklist. Season to remember, Delhi Cherry Evans. Jake Trbojevic, parallel for Manly. Showcase, Bunty Afoa for Warriors. Dylan Edwards, parallel for Panthers. Rising Stars, Arthur Miller-Stephen for the Eels. James Tedesco, parallel for Roosters. Keezy Apps, Women's NRL for Tigers. Matthew Tomoko, parallel for Raiders. World in League, Serena for Sharks. Cameron Munster, parallel for Storm. Rising Stars, Peter Holler for the Raiders. Jaden Sewer, parallel for the Dragons. Season to remember, Nick Meaney for Storm. Clinton Gutherson, parallel for Eels. Club Heroes. Number 13. Sua Wong for the Roosters. Oh, let's finish that bag. Tom Dearden, parallel for the Cowboys. Sword and Shield, Reece Welsh for Broncos. Davida Totola, parallel for the Rabbitohs. Rising Stars, Kayla Romniak for the Knights. Ezra Mam, parallel for Broncos. Season to remember, Scott Drinkwater for Cowboys. Felice Kafusi, parallel for the Dolphins. Women's NRL, Emma Tonigato for the Sharks. Daniel Saifiti, parallel for the Knights. Rising Stars, Keanu Kinney for the Titans. Chance Nicole Klokstad, parallel for the Warriors. World in League, Mitchell Moses for Eels. Nico Hines, parallel for the Sharks. Women's NRL Gold, Evania Polite for the Titans of 108. Junior Tupou, parallel for Tigers. Rising Stars, Blake Moser for the Broncos. Tolotolo Koala, parallel for Manly. Club Heroes, number 32. Sanua Taruva for Panthers. Ryan To'o, parallel for Panthers. Season to remember, Mackenzie Awiki for the Raiders. Brendan Smith, parallel for Roosters. Rising Stars, Jonah Pezzett for the Storm. Raiders, parallel checklist. Sword and Shield in the team, number 33. For the Titans, Lee Marschall. Nelson Asafa Solomona, parallel for Storm. World in League, Adam Dewey for the Tigers. Well, parallel, Tyrell Sloan for the Dragons. Rising Stars, Cooley Kefu for the Cowboys. Junior Paulo, parallel for the Eels. Season to remember, Luke Brooks for the Tigers. Alami Kickout, parallel for the Bulldogs. Sword and Shield, Big Tino for the Titans. Kieran Foran, parallel for the Titans. Rising Stars, Terrell May for the Roosters. Isaiah Katoa, parallel for Dolphins. World in League, Jacob Carraz for the Bulldogs. Bradman Best, parallel for Knights. Season to remember, Karen McInnes for the Sharks. Sean Johnson, parallel for Warriors. Rising Stars, Benjamin Lovett for the Rabbitohs. Renato Molitalo, parallel for Sharks. World in League, priority number 2. Tyson Frizzell for the Knights. Adam Dewey, parallel for the Tigers. Michael Slattery with the Knights. Nice low number on that one, mate. And we have a Black Authentics. number 32. Reed Marnie for the Bulldogs. Rod Staples. Molly Olaka-Atu, parallel for Manly. Gold parallel, Victor Radley for the Roosters, number 4. Bulldogs parallel checklist. Rising Stars, Alexis Tornay for Dragons. Philip Semi, parallel for Titans. Rising Stars, Dean Madison for Manly. Cowboys parallel checklist. Second last packet for the break. Women's NRL, Jocelyn Keller for the Roosters. Campbell Graham parallel for the Rabbitohs. Showcase David Clemmer for the Tigers. And Payne Haas parallel for the Broncos. Alright, to finish up, we have our 3 Dolphins cards we had during the break, which is the Isaiah Katoa, Felice Kafusi, and the inaugural season number 15. We're going to randomise these between all 16 spots. And I will just change screens. Give me a moment. There we go. Alright, everyone is loaded in and ready to go. As usual, 3 times around the merry-go-round, and person in spot 1 is the lucky winner. Alright, number 1, number 2, and lucky last, number 3, Bryce Stone with the Roosters. Alright, well, thank you to everyone for being a part of it. Don't forget to check out our available breaks. At the moment, we've got a 25 Elite Priority Box up listed. Only $35 a spot. And I'm pretty sure the next one's sitting on the table to be listed. So keep an eye out. And yeah, I'll see you next time.